Good morning, everybody. Okay, so the h'tשכ Yonim, I posted it again yesterday, I believe. So you have it there. Vayehi Oimen is Hadasah, and he meaning Mordechai, he brought up Hadasah, who is Esther. The pasuk goes on to say, so the overview reads, we'll do it together. Panim va'achar ba'erin sof. So the inner and external dimensions of the Erin Sof are as follows, and this is the whole theme of the Maamar. Panim and Ocher. Hadasah is Pnim, and Esther is external, is extraneous to the Pnim. So what is this in the Erin Sof? When we speak of the Erin Sof, it is Erin Sof Shalamayim Ishtalshalus, that's the Panim. Erin Sof higher than Ishtalshalus, and say the Ishtalshalus, that's the Ocher, that's the Hindu part, the external part. That's if we're speaking about Erin Sof. If the subject is say the Ishtalshalus, Gufa, then what's the Pnimius and what's the Chitzonius? Atzilus is the Pnimius, and Bia is Ocher. When we speak of Neshamas, and it all parallels, Neshamas Yisrael. So B'chinas HaYechida, which is the first name of the Neshama, begins already the dimension of Ocher. And what is it? Quoting from the h'tשכ, Shilavush Lenitzutz Shenimshech Madrege Tachtene Shilaboira. So this is the general language of the h'tשכ, that the Neshama, which is called Yechida, and then there's four other subsequent names. So this is the lavush of the Yechida is the lavush for the nitzut, the spark that comes from Hashem, described by the h'tשכ as the lowest level of the Creator. That's the Pnim. So the Pnim of every Neshama is the spark of the Creator, and the external dimension of the Neshama are the names, the identity of the Neshama. Nefesh Neshama Chai Yechida. What is this level of the nitzut? He starts with the omnam. He addresses it on three levels, but he, in the summary, gives us the latter two levels. Nitzuzeh, what is it? What is this divine spark? There's the pnim, the hadasah level of the neshama. It is oir machzev asvirish ba'ak. That's the second explanation he gave. Because he said, it would appear, he said, it's not that way. So in the summary, they don't give us all three, as we did on the chart, all three word for it, all three, not possibilities, but all three levels. He only gives us in the summary all the latter two, again, because the first one is it would appear. All right, so what is it? So what is this level of the nitzutz oir boira? It is oir machzev hasvirish ba'ak. Literally, the light hewn out of the sviris of Adam Kadman, which means the sviris of Adam Kadman. That is the nitzutz cotton boira. But then he goes on to say, by Mekyoyse, no, not ak itself, but pnimius ak, which is atik. And in brackets, why? Just like when we look at Hishtalshalus, notwithstanding the lofty level of Bria, it's not called Ponim. Only Atzilus is called Ponim. So if you look at the bigger picture, which we're looking at now, who is the true Ponim, reflecting the Hishtalshalus HaProtis? It's Atzilus HaKlolis. And what's Atzilus HaKlolis? Not Ak, but Pnimius Ak. What's Atzilus HaKlolis, as he looked on the sheet, basically is the Ein Sof. What's the lowest level of the Ein Sof is not Ak, but Pnimius Ak. Ak is beginning already of Hishtalshalus. Pnimius Ak is the Atik of the Hishtalshalus. It's the lowest level of Ein Sof, which is the nitzitz cotton shebeman nimshech madrege tachtoinish bebeira. So this is, we didn't make this so clear. We learned, frankly. So it's good we're getting the summary. What is the lowest level of the Creator in the big picture? and the objective, the big picture, the creator is the Ein Sof. What's the lowest level? Not Ak, but Pnimius Ak, Atik, because Ak starts already in the big picture. It's Atzilus, it's part of the creative process, as you look on the sheet there, that the first sheet that we made. So the conclusion is that what's the Pnimius, the level of the Neshama, what's the Nitzitz cotton boider, what is it? Not Adam Kadman, as we would understand superficially from the Eitz but upon probing, as it were, this is the Chiddush of the Maimer, it's actually Atik, because Atik belongs to the realm of the Ein Sof. And that is, on that level, it's true to say we're talking about the Creator Hashem, the quote unquote the lowest level. So it's Atik of Ein Sof, the crown of Adam Kadman, the crown of
Why do we say that the lowest level is called Atik? The highest level is called Atik.
No, it's the lowest level of the Boider. As you look at the words here in the summary, the bird itself is Atzmos and is Dargas, but what's the lowest level that can be still called God's realm, not ours? That's Atik. That's the Nitzitz Kotnish bird, and that's the Pnimi. So it's a Darga, has a name. It's called Atik. It has a meaning, but it belongs to the world of the bird. That's his world. Our world, creation, and the biggest picture starts with Adam Kadman. That's already Atzilus, the Klolus. That's Ishtalshalus, the Klolus. And that Rebbe concludes that's the pins, the level of the Nitzutz Cotton Boire. There is the Etzem, but the Hadasah of every Yid. What is it? It's Atik, which is an Atzmizdika level. It still carries the I am God, even though it's a Madrege, and there's many Madreges before. The Sviris Lane Ketz, there's all kinds of Madreges. Etzem Oir, without going to those Protim, but what makes Atik stand apart is that it belongs still to the realm of the I am God, quite simply, which is why it's an Atzmizdika level. So this week, as we pointed, as we learned the Maimir, it's a big chiddush of the Rebbe that in this Maimir, he's probing the soul of every Yid, of every Neshama, and revealing its inner essence thereafter forever, as we proceed hurtle down the track of Golos to Geula. Shombas Yisrael, Be'emes, in a Maimer, it's not only Mikan Lahaba from here going forward. A Maimer is a Gilul Likus that even retroactively transforms the past to a degree, illuminating the past in an essential level. What happened there? What was stirring there? Even in the past, it's a seamless past, present, and future revelation. That's what Torah is. Torah is beyond creation. So when Torah passes something, it becomes really eternal. This is actually, to share this with you, reflected in a Meridic revelation of the Rogatchover. You know, the Rogatchover lived only some 100-odd years ago or more. He was from the G'dolei Achronim, and of the few Achronim that the Rebbe built sichos on and quoted, the very few, he stood out. So the Rogatchover says, and this is all in Nigler, there's the proofs of this in Nigler, that everything that says in the Torah is ongoing. A story is an ongoing story. So how's this in Halacha? It's a very good thing. In Halacha, in the laws of Neder, a vow. So somebody makes a vow, and a second person listens and says, and I too, me too. Even if you didn't articulate the vow that you're saying, but since you said it within a short period of time, within a few seconds of someone articulating what their vow is, and you say, I like him, I too, I as well, then what he said, you are now obligated to fulfill your vow as if you uttered it. It's called being matvis, grasping someone else's vow. So the halacha is that if someone uses the language of Moishe Rabbeinu, and I am making a vow like Moishe did. Moishe vowed to stay with Yisro, whatever it was there, even though he revoked it later and left. But if he says, and I, like Moishe, me too, like Moishe Rabbeinu. That's all he's got to say. Moishe Rabbeinu's vow again was that he promised he would stay in Midian with his daughters, although later he revoked it. It doesn't matter. Moishe Rabbeinu's vow remains being uttered now, and this person's neder becomes a vow which he's obligated to uphold, and this is going to halachically revoke it. Okay, so this is bringing out this inyan of the nitzchias of Torah. So when a Maimon says an inyan and reveals a level of truth that's now going further, and even the past. Torah is a seamless, eternal, divine revelation. Let's continue. These two levels of the neshama, which we just now identified at the conclusion that the panemius of it is atik, and the chitzonius are all the levels that follow. So they correspond to Bechinas Yaakov, the two names that a Yid has, Yaakov, so called because he held right the heel. So that's the regel sheba neshama, the lower level, the leg or the foot of the neshama. Chelik neshama mislabeshes beguf, the chelik of neshama that's invested in the body. That's the Esther level, the Hadasah level. The Pnim is Bechinas Yisrael. That's referred to by the term Yisrael that we all have. And the word Yisrael has the word Roish in it, Reish, Aleph, Shin, Li, Roish, unto me is a head, or a head unto me. Roish ben Neshama, that's a chelek haneshama, shelemayla mislapishus beguf, that's not invested in the body. And that's the nitzitz cotton boider, which is the level of Atik, that's the Hadasah of the Neshama. The whole point of the Maimar is Hadasah, Vihehi, Oimen, as Hadasah, he Esther. This level of Hadasah is something that a Yid can access and is given and is nurtured and revealed by Mordechai in the Neshama, in the Guf, in the time of tremendous concealment. Vihehi, Oimen, as Hadasah. That's where the Maimar is going with all of this. So, what's Avodah? The Avodah of Esther, the Avodah of Hadasah. So the Ava, the love of God with all your heart and all your soul, which comes, that's as a result of the neshama, the person meditating in godliness that's invested in creation, but in detail it's two levels. It's a memal and soiviv. And that is is beyond his bonus. Is unlocking the essence of the neshama. That's the Hadasah level of the neshama, which hakara, which intuitively recognizes and knows the essence of godliness, and invoked Avram, Hikeres, Boire, etc. Now, there's two matzavim of the B'chol Ba'itcha. There's the matzav of B'chol Ba'itcha in Zman Abayis, and then there's matzav of B'chol Ba'itcha in Golus. And therefore, that's the Tzomah L'cha Nafshi. Both the B'chol Ba'itcha, but a different B'chol Ba'itcha. One that comes from Ba'ira Neshama, one comes from a Koich HaNeshama. Koich meaning the very essence. And Oimen meaning the essence expressed in an inspirational way, apprehended by mind and heart, etc. As it goes to say in the summary, but Pnimius, Haneshama Gufa Yesh Beis in Yonim. So in the Pnimius and Haneshama, which is it gives expression in Avodah to B'chol Ma'idcha, there's two levels. The Oid Haneshama, Shiva Oifen Shal Oid V'Gilui, that's the time of Zman Abayis, and that's Tzadikim. The first parsha of the Shema is talking about Zman Abayis as opposed to the second parsha of the Shema. So there's B'chol Ma'itcha. It's not the same B'chol Ma'itcha that is in Golus, because in Zman Abayis we call it oil because it's illuminated. We went into details as we learned the Maamar. It's Mesiras Nefesh, to be sure, but an inspired, he wants to go on Mesiras Nefesh. So Rabbi Akiva all his life sought to go on Mesiras Nefesh. That was actually his Zman HaGolus, but he had that desire even not under Roman oppression. It's the Oid on the Neshama. But then there's a Koyach on the Neshama. That's the Etzem on the Neshama. Shinyan HaKoyach Yochel Lovei Bislav Shasa B'Shinuyim. Now he's actually saying something interesting here that we didn't learn the Maamar this way. We drew a distinction between two levels within Koyach. The Koyach HaMadubar Kan, remember, is a Koyach Atzmi. He seems to learn a different pshat a little bit, but anyway. So Koyach means, but he's saying it here, I'm just going to say the way he says it here, which is interesting, that Koyach HaNeshama can be expressed under all situations. Oyer is only in a state of inspiration. But the Koyach HaNeshama can be expressed even at a place, at a time, which is because it draws on the essence, where he's not inspired. And it can be slapshus or b'shinuyim, invested in different ways. That point made in the Maamar, he's actually using to explain the mile of Koyach, in our case too, the Koyach we speak of here, over Oyer. Okay. Zman HaGolus, Oid Neshama Behelim. Zman HaGolus, the light of Neshama is concealed. We're not inspired. Mind and heart is not full and brimming with love, and the mind inspired with a clear understanding. On the contrary, I conceal my face then in Golus. That's Esther. That's the essence of the neshama from which true Mesiras Nefesh comes, not an inspired one, but the decision one, the achlota, it must be this way, no other way. It's revealed more in Golus than during the time of Gilul Likus. What is the true koyach of the neshama, the koyach atzmi of the neshama, the purest form of Mesiras Nefesh? That's revealed dafke in Golus, so much so that in the time of Geula, David HaMelech pined, Samalach HaNavshi, they should have, Kain Ba'Kodesh Chazisicha Lavayin Kodesh, he should have, as he had in Midbar Yehuda, the revelation of the Etzem HaNeshama.
So that's the level of Punim.
That's the true level of Punim, which is revealed wherein, that's the Chiddush, Vayehi, Hadasah, he Esther, that the true level of Hadasah is revealed where? In the Esther, in the Hester. The true Pnimis HaNeshama. Not just the Oyer of in the Pnimius, but the Koyach in the Pnimius, the Etzem. That's what the end of the pasuk is saying. That's the Chiddush here. Then he goes into the Vayehi.
So the base of Migdash is Acher compared to.
No, he says in Pnimius. Well, it didn't go that far, but he says in Pnimius good for this too in Yonim. You could say that, perhaps, but we're talking about Pnimius HaNeshama, we're talking about Mesiras Nefesh, B'chol Ma'itcha is Pnimius. But in that gufa, there's two darkness, yeah. So that's why he Oimen is Hadasah, he Esther. Shegam, it's not just Gam, it's especially in time of Zman HaGolus, B'chinas Esther, Nimshach B'chinas Pnimius HaNeshama, Pnimius Hadasah, B'chinas Hadasah, level of Hadasah, and it's not really Gam, it's especially in Zman HaGolus, not also. That the Pnimius of within the Pnimius, that's the Koyach HaNeshama, the Etzem, I Meyid, and no other way, and it's beyond Seichel, beyond Midas, not as an inspired Mesiras Nefesh, but an essential one, and that's what's revealed where Dafke in the Hester, the level of Hadasah as in its most Atzmi's Dike, Pnimius Dike way, Pnimius the Pnimius. Now, what reveals it? The ability to reveal the Etzem Neshama is the education that we get to Torah Mitzvah. That's what Oimen means. Al that Mashakosov, like similar to what the pasuk says about where Torah is speaking, Vayehi etzli Omon, and I was before him in Omon, and the 3 Taichin in Omon, from the Medrash, which bottom line means the 3 Taichin are mitzvahs and nigla and nister. Torah mitzvahs is what nurtures and reveals. The Hadasah, Vayehi, Oimen is Hadasah, where in the hell of a Hester, in the greatest concealment. And who does that? Maimon doesn't stress it here, but elsewhere, that is the task of the Tzaddik Hadoyer, the Nasi, the Mordechai, to fortify and stir and educate them, inspire them, in Zman HaGolos Dafka, that the Etzem and Neshama is revealed, and that they withstand the tests. As he said, he doesn't bring it here in the summary at all, but Avodas B'rurim versus Avodas Hanisyonis, which is the Avodah of Golos, is all a test. Ultimately, again, which we're facing today, it's all a test. It's all about us. It's all about us today, not about the world at all. And a Yid stands resolute, revealing Etzem and Neshama. He is a Yid. This is Eretz Yisrael. There's no discussion, in the most firm and humble way. And I say humble not to balance the firmness, because the only firmness which is completely invincible is only in humility. It's not me. This is the emes. And therein lies the greatest resoluteness, the achlata. Then the whole end of Golos, which is choshech and has no substance, it's in Nisoyan, evaporates and then is transformed. And that's where we are right now, on the eve of Geula Be'ezrat Hashem. Okay, that's the summary. Not a summary, just a teichen. They just give you, the points as the maamar progresses, and God willing, you'll all learn it, and more importantly, we all live with it. Okay, friends.